What's going on, everyone? It's Jiffy Pop, and you guys are tuning in to Jiffy Pop TV. And yes, you're not mistaken. This is Little Nightmares, but we're not playing Little Nightmares today. This is gonna be the Little Nightmare analysis done by Jiffy Pop. So what I'm gonna do is we played the game, we beat the game together. It's been a week or two, and what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna give you guys a rundown of what I thought of the game. This is my opinion, 100% opinion. None of this I claim to be factual. This is just kind of stuff I've seen on the internet, stuff I kind of surmised for myself, things of that nature, and I just want to make this analysis video to share with you guys my thoughts. You know, I got a lot of thoughts on the game. I figured we would go through them together. So here we go. We'll just start with a rundown of the story. So the story is of you're playing a little girl, 6 years old, I believe she is. Her name is Six, and 6 years old? No, she's 9 years old. I apologize. And her name is Six, and you are at this place called the Maw, which you end up you end up realizing is a boat, or on an island. And so, you know, you play through. You do the beginning scenes, which are, you know, just you kind of walking around, figuring out where you are. Then you get to the long arms, crazy hands scene where you see tons of cages and of little children, and you see him wrapping up the children. And then you get to the part with the chefs, and they're cooking up meat in, you know, quotes and stuff. They're cooking up the meat, and you gotta try and escape from them. This is the part with the cages and stuff, and then there's long arms, like I said, and then you get to the part with the chefs, and once you get through that, then you see all the Slavanistic ones, as I called them, just chowing down on what we might think is meat, what I personally see as maybe children, but we'll get to that. And then you meet a woman at the end who is what we all kind of believe is to be in charge of the Maw itself. So besides that, the graphics are really good for a smaller game. The game itself was very short. The graphics were good. The sound was good. The gameplay was fine. I did have an issue, though. The only issue with the game was when it comes to using, and this could be lazy video gaming, is when you were to jump on something, you had to jump and then use a different button to grab. I did have an issue with that. I caught on real quick, but for the most part, most games automatically grab for you. Could be lazy gaming. So that's just the odd and end stuff. The only real complaint I have. So now we get into the juice, the story part, where I go in detail, tell you guys what I think. I must mention, there's huge spoiler alerts coming up. There's gonna just be spoiler down the line. So as you're playing, at first it seems like Six, your character, is trying to escape. You get through these trials and tribulations. You know, the crazy arms, then the chefs, then the Slavanistic ones are trying to eat you, and it just seems like you're trying to escape. But what if in reality you're not trying to escape? What if in fact you're actually just trying to get through all these things so that you can inevitably own the Maw for yourself? You beat the lady at the end, and maybe all these things, long arms and the creatures, the little slug-like creatures, and the chefs, maybe they're all trying to stop you from inevitably reaching the end woman, because they know in their soul that eventually you're going to take this place over, and they're just trying to stop that from happening, maybe ordered by the older woman. So, you know, it's just a thought. You know, I think that maybe that sounds, you know, that that's to me is what I think this inevitable goal is. I mean, so then the maw. What is the maw? The maw itself is the place where you're at, and it's what it's called. It's an island, and it's an island where people visit, rich, wealthy people visit to just endlessly gorge themselves. It's where people go to maybe get away on vacation, but that's unlikely because of the way they go. So maybe it's just a place where people could possibly go to their death. They know they're gonna die, so they're just gonna do it while gorging themselves. Speaking of gorging and food, we get to as the game progresses, Six gets hungry at different points in the game. I feel like there's a great, interesting idea when it comes to that stuff, because when you look into it, for example, with Six, at first you're given bread, then you eat meat, then you eat a rat, and after you eat the rat, you meet up with a gnome. You know, the gnomes that you can see in this picture here. And the gnomes themselves, you hug them. They're peaceful creatures, but instead of, the gnome has a sausage, and instead of taking the sausage for yourself, you end up eating the gnome. And after the gnome, then you kill the lady at the end, and you end up eating her. And then at the end, you take the lady's power and you steal all the souls of the slobs as you inevitably look like you're leaving the maw. It's interesting that fact, because I believe my thoughts about that is there's an odd symbolism between the lust for bread to meat to even more meat to souls, that it's like a lust of power. Power is symbolic to food, and the more you lust over the food, the more you begin to lust for more power, which is getting back to my point where I believe as Six progresses through the story, it's not to escape, but to gain more power. And so that's where all, that's where that all comes from. The lust for food could even be... the lust for food could even be found with the Slavanistic ones, because that lust for food that they have, it's to the point where maybe animal meat isn't enough. Which gets me to another thought, is when you get to the part where the chefs are, you land on a bunch of body bags that you saw Crazy Arms a chapter before wrapping up the children. He traps the children. So what I think that is Long Arms, Crazy Arms, nurtures the children at a young age, traps them, keeps them in cages, prepares them up to be wrapped up. As you can see in this picture, there's a hook up there. He wraps them up, puts them on the hook. They go to the cooks, which then when you get to the cooks part for the first time, you fall on a bunch of body bags. I feel like all those bodies are children that the Crazy Arms nurtured up. The chef himself prepare for the slobs who are coming to the maw to feast, because maybe, like I said, animal meat isn't enough for these people anymore, and now they want to feast on the meat of children, which to them could be like a rare delicacy. And maybe the maw is the only place these people, they have to spend an absorbent amount of money to get to this place where it's being brochured that all the child meat you could want. So that's kind of what I think in terms of all of that. It's all, you went through each stage, each chapter, and it was just all leading up to an inevitable end for these children. So that's and to validate why I think it's children, Six is 9 years old. These people are gorging on this child meat that I believe is, and when they see your character, when you're at the point where you're running from them. As you can see in this portrait here, they're all trying to, besides the guy on the left, the two are trying to grab the top of the plates to get to 6, which tells me there is a lust for children, which then makes me surmise that they are eating the children's, they're eating meat of children. So that's all the food and aspects. So now we get into the part with the woman at the end, the woman you fight at the end. It's inevitable that she is in charge of the Maw. In order to keep her youth and immortality, because I believe she is probably very old, I believe she invites the slothy, larger, rich to the island, the ones who lust over this delicacy, children's delicacy of meats, and to fatten them up to eventually drain their souls to keep her youthful self. I believe her to be the Six's mother, and it's just an odd correlation, but I believe her to be Six's mother, and I believe that the mother herself is very self-conscious, so once she realized that Six herself, after being birthed, once she realized Six was going to be more beautiful than her, I believe she cast her away to the Maw to eventually be eaten like the rest of the children that are nurtured in there. She was going to be nurtured, but something happened and maybe she escaped. Where I get the self-conscious part about her is you see, now maybe this is just because she can't look at mirrors, but you see her, when you first see her, she's singing and she's combing her hair, looking into a cracked mirror where she can't see her full reflection, which tells me maybe she either can't look at her reflection or she doesn't want to, because she's just too self-conscious to like see her for some reason. So on another note too, that I believe is when in the earlier part of the game, you walk through a part where you see a man's legs, a man who hung himself. I believe, this is my thought, that man is actually Six's father. Now you think, okay, well, why would he hang himself? Well, maybe he could not believe, or he couldn't handle the mother banishing their daughter to the Maw to eventually be eaten. Couldn't handle it anymore, and the guilt he felt for not doing anything, he could have went and maybe hung himself to just kind of inevitably just end it, just end the suffering. I can't take it anymore, so he goes and hangs himself, and then boom, that ends it. There's also a thought I saw, this isn't really my opinion, I gave you my opinion, but I saw in another video, someone was saying, what if that is the captain of the ship? And maybe the captain himself just can't take, the woman's orders anymore, and just can't take it, so he hangs himself. That's another opinion, but that's not really my opinion. So then you get to the end, you kill the woman, you eat her, steal her soul-stealing power, and after that point, Six is seen, the game ends, and Six is seen standing at the entrance to the island, and you hear a boat in the background. Now, there's two thoughts that keep surfacing, and I'll tell you both thoughts, and then I'll tell you what I think. There's two thoughts about that at the ending. So, thought number one is Six is going to use that boat to escape the Maw, which then theorizes that she was just trying to escape in the end. I don't believe that to be true. This is what I believe. I believe that as her lust for food grew, her lust for power grew, and once she took the souls of the Slavs before she was leaving, in all intentions, maybe she had intentions to leave the island, but then her motives changed once she felt that lust of power from every single soul she took. And now this boat is coming with more rich slobs who will gorge themselves on children. The vicious cycle will repeat, and she'll want more and more and more, and it'll never end until Six's inevitable death, or however that goes. Want to also mention on a side note, thinking about it, I believe also there's a correlation between Long Arms, the mother, the father being the one who hung himself, and the chefs and Six. I believe something, I don't know what happened, I'm not going to surmise what happened or anything, but I believe the mother and the father had Six, they were rich, they owned their own island, which maybe could have been a restaurant before things started to get crazy. And but they had Long Arms was like the butler, took care of the house, and the chef brothers were their private chefs that cooked for them. It's a thought. You see their pictures actually before you go see the woman for the first time and fight her. There's actually pictures on the walls that show that they're all together in a family portrait. But so that's pretty much it. That wraps up the Little Nightmares analysis video. I want to say too, I got 6th edition, which comes with the soundtrack and the songs in here. Now you guys seen a lot of my videos. I love video game music, and the music in this video game are just about perfect. They hit you with the perfect key of music. So that's another opinion I want to throw in there. But if you guys like this analysis video, let me know. Leave a like. That's how I'll know you liked it. Also, write down your comments. Go in crazy detail. I'll read it all. I'll comment back. I want to know, what do you guys think of the game? What are your thoughts on the woman, on Six, on the chefs and all that? Just let me know. And also, don't forget, as always, to subscribe. There's going to be a little box in the top left pop up on your screen. You can subscribe that way, or you can back out of this video and you can hit the red subscribe box. But please also don't forget to subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. And this is Jiffy Pop's analysis, and that's gonna do it. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and until we see each other again, peace out. See you later. Bye.